Tonight on The Cycle, the global forces that lead to you paying more for gas. A remote island in the Pacific is overrun with trash. And is it okay to shame your neighbors for not voting? All that and more coming to you live right now.
Welcome to The Cycle, where we filter out the noise and give you the news you need to know. I'm Jacques Slade.
And I'm Aaliyah Jasmine. Let's quickly run through the day's biggest headlines.
Donald Trump asked James Comey to drop his investigation into Michael Flynn, according to a memo written by Comey. If recent events are any indication, the White House would probably deny this, only to have the president admit it on Twitter an hour later.
A cyber gang in North Korea is believed to be behind the WannaCry ransomware attack that hit more than 150 countries last week. WannaCry by the cyber gang, also a great name for a 90s album.
Oh, absolutely a great name. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said he wished there was less drama coming out of the White House. He also called for an end to hateration and holleration in Washington.
And those were today's biggest headlines. Now let's get into some important stories that may have been lost under all the clickbait.
Right. Number one, the first person to be sentenced under the new transgender hate crime guidelines received a 49-year sentence for killing a trans woman in 2015.
Joshua Valum pleaded guilty to murdering 17-year-old Mercedes Williamson because she was trans. This is the first conviction of its kind since Congress expanded guidelines to include crimes motivated by someone's gender identity.
Our second story, too much caffeine led to the death of a 16-year-old boy who collapsed in his high school classroom last month.
Davis Allen Kripe had consumed a cafe latte, a large Diet Mountain Dew, and an energy drink in the 2-hour period before his death.
All right. Number three, is it okay to shame your neighbors if they don't vote? Some Los Angeles residents found a letter in their mailboxes listing voting records of the people in the area in an apparent attempt to make them feel self-conscious if they didn't vote.
Maybe the most surprising thing about this story is that what they did actually doesn't seem to be illegal. Do you, our viewers, think it's okay to shame people for not voting? Let us know in those comments below.
All right, story number four. We all know you can 3D print basically anything. And some scientists...
Except for Prince Harry.
Except for Prince Harry, true. And some scientists from Northwestern University, well, they're actually proving it.
They were able to successfully replace a mouse's ovary with a synthetic one, and the mice are able to reproduce just like normal. It begs the question, how long until this might work on humans?
And finally, number five, a new twist on the emperor's new clothes. The king of Thailand doesn't seem to understand that the internet is forever.
Yeah, the country threatened to block some Facebook pages unless the social network removed a video that shows the king wearing a yellow cutoff crop top.
To be fair, it's a hot crop top. The most recent update is they've backed off the threat, and if the video is any indication, the king may not have the gut to follow through.
Hashtag dad jokes. Next, let's go by the numbers. 38 million. That's how many pieces of trash have washed up on the shores of an uninhabited island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Researchers at the remote Henderson Island estimate that 3,500 new pieces of garbage from all around the world would arrive on the island every day. It's mostly sharp, toxic plastic, and it threatens the local wildlife like crabs and turtles. They say the island has the highest density of trash anywhere in the world.
Take that, spring break in Fort Lauderdale.
That's a crushing blow right there. All right, now it's time for a story that a lot of people thought was TLDR or too long didn't read.
Today's TLDR is this eye-opening article from The Atlantic titled My Family Slave. The writer tells the story of Lola, a woman who helped raise him from the time he was of his birth in the Philippines and followed his family when they immigrated to America. As a boy, he thought Lola was just another member of his family until he grew old enough to realize that his parents essentially owned her.
Wow, it's a heartbreaking story about shame, regret, and privilege that the Arthur Alex Sazon struggled to write for years. Yeah. He died shortly after finishing it. His wife said this was his ultimate story. We can't recommend that you read it enough. Be sure to check out the links down below in the comments.
Okay, so the news can sometimes be boring,
yes.
We know that. But just because the subject might put you to sleep doesn't mean it's not important. That's why we've created a segment where we drop some knowledge on a bland topic, and just when your eyes start to roll over, we hit you with an amazing viral video. It's called Eat Your Veggies.
Right, and today we're talking about gas prices. You've probably noticed that they've gone up recently, but you may not know the complex political and economic factors that cause the price to fluctuate. We're going to dig into it, and along the way, we're going to keep you, let's say, focused with some clips of adorable zoo babies like this one here.
Oh, it's a baby hippo.
It's like hungry hippo.
He's a little premature hippo,
really
and he
hungry.
has no teeth.
Just a hippo.
It's so gummy. Okay, so it all starts with OPEC, which is the collection of oil-producing countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and others. But not every country that produces oil is part of OPEC. Most importantly, the United States is not.
Right. A few years ago, the OPEC countries decided that emerging oil producers like the U.S. were a threat. They decided to get a little bit sneaky and manipulate the market for oil in order to try to starve their rivals out. We're starting to lose you, so let's take a look at some more cute zoo babies. Can someone scratch my back?
Aw, little.
Is anyone around?
Little sea
Todd,
otter.
James, you there? Can you scratch? No? Fine.
And we're back. Okay, OPEC played a trick of basic economics. OPEC countries started producing oil as fast as they could, and they got Russia to join them. The thought was if they flooded the market, gas prices would drop. OPEC had a vast reserve to survive those low prices. They thought their rivals might not. When that happened, gas prices fell off a cliff. You likely noticed the price being down around $2 a gallon for the past couple years.
Right. You probably also noticed that the price has suddenly started to spike again. With all that supply, prices dropped to a level that even OPEC countries weren't willing to tolerate. So they started cutting production. Supply goes down, demand goes up, you pay more at the pump. Now we're almost done. We need some more normal animals to keep you with us, so check this out. I usually sleep in the bed, but today I'm going to sleep on a
Okay,
teddy
guys,
bear.
this is an anteater hugging a teddy bear. And I never knew anteaters were so cute.
Adorable. It's so soft.
Deep breath. We are ready for that home stretch. Okay, things are going to get worse before they get better. Just yesterday, Russia and OPEC announced they're going to maintain their low production levels, which caused the price of crude oil to spike.
As the world's major oil producers wrestle with new competition, limited supply, and green technology, they're going to continue to play with the market to try to keep control over the resource that makes up a huge portion of their economies. And all that global manipulation, well, it ends up affecting you, me, and you. It's our wallets, really.
I know that was kind of dry, but hopefully you learned something, and we threw some baby animals at you. So Thank you so much for sticking with us. And a big happy birthday shout out to one of our producers, Davis. Happy birthday, Davis.
Happy birthday, Mike. All right, thank you guys for watching The Cycle. If you want to learn more about anything that we talked about today, make sure you drop a comment down below.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy
Make sure
birthday.
to follow us at The Cycle Live on Twitter and Instagram.
And like, share, subscribe to us on YouTube and Facebook, all that good stuff at The Cycle Live.